Imagine finding a tiny 10-cent coin in your pocket and discovering that it could be connected to one of the most talked about modern American coin issues of 2026. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but carries a design that marks 250 years of American history. Now imagine collectors around the world asking an unbelievable question. Could an extraordinary example of this coin ever become worth millions of dollars? And could a truly unique specimen one day approach an astronomical figure like $120 million? Today, we are taking a close look at the 2026 Emerging Liberty Dime, the story behind its design, the details collectors should watch for, and the truth behind the sensational claims surrounding its potential value. So before you spend another dime, make sure you watch this entire video, because the most important details may be the ones that are easiest to miss. The year 2026 is an extraordinary year for American history because the United States is celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. To commemorate this historic milestone, the United States Mint introduced special 2026 designs, including the Emerging Liberty design on the dime. This is not simply another routine change in American coinage. It represents a major historical moment, because the familiar Roosevelt portrait that Americans have seen on the dime for decades is being replaced for this special 2026 design with a modern representation of liberty. The Emerging Liberty design carries powerful historical symbolism. The image of liberty represents the nation's revolutionary beginnings, while the dual date 1776 to 2026 connects the birth of the United States with its 250th anniversary. For collectors, dates like these are extremely interesting because they permanently connect a coin to a specific moment in American history. Every time one of these coins is examined decades from now, the 1776 to 2026 date will immediately tell the story of America's 250th anniversary. But what makes this coin even more interesting is the question of rarity. When collectors evaluate a coin, they don't simply look at its face value. They look at mintage, condition, demand, varieties, errors, historical significance, and how many examples survive in exceptional condition. A coin that originally cost only 10 cents can become much more desirable if collectors discover something unusual about it. This is where the excitement surrounding the Emerging Liberty dime really begins. Millions of ordinary examples may eventually enter circulation or be saved by collectors, but among a large production run, unusual coins can sometimes appear. Minting is a highly technical process involving enormous pressure, specialized dies, planchets, and multiple stages of production. When something goes wrong during that process, the result can sometimes be a dramatic mint error. Collectors carefully look for features such as off-center strikes, double strikes, unusual die varieties, missing design elements, wrong planchet strikes, major die cracks, and other abnormalities. However, there is an important difference between a genuine mint error and simple damage that happened after a coin left the mint. A coin that has been scratched, bent, chemically altered, or damaged in circulation is generally not considered a valuable mint error. That is why serious collectors often rely on professional examination and certification before making major claims about a coin's rarity or value. Condition is another major factor. A 2026 Emerging Liberty dime that has been heavily circulated, scratched, and worn may have little collectible premium beyond its historical interest. But an example that remains extremely sharp, bright, and virtually untouched could attract much greater attention. Professional grading companies can authenticate and grade coins, giving collectors a standardized way to compare quality. In the world of modern coin collecting, extremely high grades can sometimes create substantial premiums when the population of coins at those grades is very small. Now let's address the biggest question surrounding this video. Is there really a 2026 Emerging Liberty dime worth $120 million? The answer needs to be very clear. There is no verified public sale establishing an ordinary 2026 Emerging Liberty dime at a value of $120 million. A figure like $120 million should not be treated as the current market value of this coin. Instead, it is best understood as a hypothetical extreme scenario involving a potentially unique, historically important, and extraordinarily rare coin. Why would anyone even discuss a number that enormous? Because the history of American numismatics contains coins that have reached extraordinary prices. Certain coins became legendary because of their extreme rarity, historical importance, condition, and the intense competition among wealthy collectors. When only one or a handful of extraordinary examples exist, the normal rules of everyday coin pricing can change dramatically. That does not mean every 2026 emerging Liberty dime is a hidden fortune. In fact, most examples will likely remain affordable collectibles. The real excitement is the possibility that an unusual variety or major error could be discovered and authenticated. If a genuinely unique example were ever found, its value would ultimately depend on what collectors were willing to pay in a competitive marketplace. You should also check the mint mark and keep the coin in its original condition. If you believe you've discovered a major error, don't immediately assume that you have found $1 million coin. Take clear photographs, compare the coin with reliable numismatic references, and if the evidence appears convincing, consider professional authentication and grading. The most important lesson is that rarity must be proven. A viral social media post can claim that a coin is worth thousands, millions, or even $120 million, but a claim is not the same thing as a confirmed market value. Real coin values are established through evidence, expert opinions, auction results, and actual transactions. And this is exactly why the 2026 emerging Liberty dime is so fascinating. Even if the sensational $120 million claim is not an established valuation, the coin itself represents an important chapter in American coinage. It celebrates 250 years of American independence and introduces collectors to a design that will forever be associated with the year 2026. Think about that for a moment. Someone could put one of these dimes away today, and decades from now, that same coin could become a historical time capsule. The coin would not just represent 10 cents. It would represent the 250th anniversary of the United States, the beginning of a new chapter in American commemorative coinage, and the collecting culture surrounding one of the most important anniversaries in the nation's history. And there is another reason collectors should pay attention. Modern coins are often produced in enormous quantities, which means that finding a rare example can be extremely difficult. But that is precisely what makes the search exciting. Every roll, every pocket, every coin jar, and every collection has the potential to contain something unusual. Most discoveries will not be worth a fortune, but occasionally a collector finds something that deserves a closer look. So, could the emerging Liberty dime eventually become a legendary collectible? It is far too early to know. Could a unique mint error someday command an extraordinary price? That's possible in principle, but it would require genuine rarity, authentication, strong collector demand, and a competitive sale. Could an ordinary example be worth $120 million? No credible evidence currently supports that claim. The real treasure is not simply the number printed in a viral headline. The real treasure is the history, the rarity, the hunt, and the possibility of discovering something that most people completely overlooked. So now I want to hear from you. If you found a 2026 emerging Liberty dime in your pocket today, would you spend it, save it, or have it professionally examined? And what do you think about the possibility of a rare error becoming extremely valuable in the future? Let us know your opinion in the comments, because your discovery could be the next story that collectors everywhere are talking about. If you enjoy American coins, rare varieties, mint errors, valuable pocket change, and the fascinating stories behind collectible money, make sure you subscribe to Coin Market Insider and turn on notifications. We are constantly searching for the coins that look ordinary but may have an extraordinary story behind them. And remember, the next time you receive a dime as change, don't spend it too quickly. Take a second look, because sometimes history is hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching Coin Market Insider. Keep checking your coins, keep learning, and most importantly, never underestimate the smallest pieces of American history.